How do? Welcome to your weekly look at the Betfred Super League in 2025. Thank you very much, Iggsy. And let's have a look at how the week has gone in Super League Rugby. And what a week indeed it still promises to be, with plenty of action still to come, despite already having had, I believe, 4 quality games of Rugby League already this weekend, and that off the back of a terrific opening round last weekend. It started on Thursday night with Wakefield narrowly succumbing to Hull Kingston Rovers, just a 2-point gap there. Rovers winning by 14 points to 12. They have lost Mikey Lewis, the England international, to injury, which is obviously a blow, but nonetheless, Wakefield starting Super League with a real bang last week away at Leeds. Couldn't back it up at home, but a massive crowd, near 9,000 at Bellevue, which is a great way for them to re-enter the league. They re-enter a completely different club, and that's one thing I love about Wakefield over the last couple of years. Since the new ownership, they are now a team that is going to compete. They are now a team that is going to better themselves, and that is what we were missing the last time they were in Super League. The perennial hangers-on, as they were back then, but not anymore. They will be around about the playoff positions this season and already giving last season's grand finalists a real big run for their money. Friday saw the return to winning ways of the Wigan Warriors, and how, because even though the side on the Rovers side of the city is still going great guns, I'm afraid it was back to normal after a great win in Catalan for Hull FC the week before. It is back to being beaten, and heavily, by the Wigan Warriors, who, having not registered a point and gone trialless against Lee the week before, they beat Hull FC by 46 points to 4. Very comprehensive, a hat-trick for Jay Field. He's back to his absolute best after a little slow start against Lee the week before. And Warrington, well, they named their stadium the Luke Littler Stadium for one night only, paying a little bit of homage to their hometown hero, who is, of course, the World Darts Champion. They managed to beat Catalan Dragons, another disappointing result for Steve McNamara's Catalan Dragons, who you now have to say is probably under a bit of pressure, having lost 2 straight games. They were disappointing again last night at the Luke Littler Stadium. It does seem strange to say that, doesn't it, the Luke Littler Stadium? But they've lost another game, 2 in a row now for the Dragons. Warrington, though, will be thrilled. That's 2 wins out of 2, having beaten Huddersfield the week before. They just about did enough to get past Catalan Dragons this week. Good performance on the night as well from Matt Duffy, the fullback, one of the star performers, and George Williams looking back to his best as well. Today, it was a big day for Salford Red Devils. It's been a big week for Salford Red Devils. After the debacle of the team selection last week, they have managed to get the takeover ratified by the Rugby Football League. They are now fully newly owned, and they have managed to put out a full-strength side against Leeds today. You thought that, along with the Happy Mondays performing at the Salford Community Stadium, would be the catalyst to get them off and running in Super League. However, Leeds have managed to come up with a party spoiler. They've won by 32 points to 6 after getting beaten, should I say, against Wakefield the week before in a shocker. They have gone to Salford and turned them over. It was a big day for Salford, big crowd at the Salford Community Stadium, but Leeds have gone there and won by 32 points to 6. 2 tries there for the debutant Lum, as well as Gannon, Handley, Bentley and Hall. Callum Watkins with the only reply for Salford at the Salford Community Stadium. Later on, of course, Saints back in action after that demolition of Salford the week before, the walkover, if you like. They go to Castleford Tigers, who themselves were unlucky the week before to lose to Hull KR. They will be starting their home campaign against the Saints, who look in irresistible form last week, but of course they would, given the nature of the opponent. But it should be a good game. That is kicking off at 8 o'clock tonight. And Lee Leopards will round off the Super League round at home to Huddersfield Giants. Lee with a win against Wigan last week to start the season off in tremendous style. Big show planned at the Leopards Den tomorrow. Can Huddersfield spoil the party? Well, they were beaten by Warrington Wolves the week before, of course, and they will be looking to get their first points of the season. But you have to say, Lee looked absolutely sensational the week before against Wigan, keeping the champions scoreless. What is Derek Beaumont going to throw at this Super League season this time out? Well, You have to think with the recruitment that they've done, they are going to be up there with the absolute best. And of course, tomorrow as well, Widnes Vikings back in championship action, taking on Sheffield in the championship. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. That should be a really good, entertaining game. Both sides were up and around the playoff places last year. I think Sheffield fell away eventually, but of course Widnes started the season absolutely brilliantly with a stunning win in the south of France against Toulouse. Can they back it up against Sheffield tomorrow at the Halton Stadium? We will wait and see. Keeping your Rugby League live fix on in Liverpool. That's what I'm here to do every Saturday afternoon. Thanks very much to Higgsy for giving me the time to run through your Super League programme. Still got a couple of great games to come, as I've said already, this weekend. And the action, of course, moves to Las Vegas in a week's time. Wigan and Warrington are going to provide the showpiece for that. It's going to be highly entertaining. I can't wait. I've not managed to get a ticket, unfortunately. So if anybody wants to give us a lift at some point, if anybody's going over, that'd be absolutely wonderful. Close to 10,000 people from this country going over to watch Wigan versus Warrington Wolves in a Super League game in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. 60,000 people expected. Of course, we've got the Gillaroos versus the England Rugby League women's side as well on the card, which is going to be fantastic, as well as 2 NRL games to open their campaign in 2025. It's already shaping up to be an incredibly exciting season. It's been brilliant so far. I cannot wait for what's to come in the coming weeks. Thanks to everybody on Liverpool Live. Keep listening every Saturday to me, Chris Price, for your Super League roundup, keeping you locked into Super League on Liverpool Live.